Happy February, Buzz City, and happy game day. It's Friday. We're looking forward to taking on the Memphis Grizzlies tonight to kick off our 3-game homestand. Back-to-back home games tonight and tomorrow. I'm Erin Pitzenberger for Hornets.com. That's Matt Rachinsky, and this is the HornetsFanshop.com pregame show. Now, we have a lot to get into, but first, we have a game day special.
Game day special, game 51. Can you believe it's game 51?
I cannot.
By the way,
it's crazy.
February and we're game 51. Anyway, free shipping, no minimum. Same as last time. Make sure you get on HornetsFanshop.com. Order whatever you want. You want a pen shipped? You get a pen. Just get one pen shipped. I don't care. You want a jersey. You want an all-star jersey, a Kemba Walker all-star jersey. There's still limited jerseys remaining. Make sure you're hopping on right now. Getting that, use code FSChili, or as we like to say here, Fashilly. Make sure you're using that code.
FS Chili. And hopefully here in Charlotte, I think it's going to ease up. It's going to get a little warmer next week. Yeah. But right now, in this past week, for everybody, it's been crazy cold. I feel terrible for the people in Chicago, but hopefully the Bulls are going to be looking forward to playing us tomorrow night, and it'll be a little bit warmer than in their hometown.
Yeah, winter vortex. What is a winter vortex anyway? I've never... 43 years old, never heard of one of those, but apparently
because it hasn't been this cold in probably 43 years.
Fair enough.
So they just need to find a new word for it. So we're looking into tonight the Memphis Grizzlies. Looking forward to having them into town. It has been a long January, a very long January. This team has been on the road constantly, but it's really good finally to get back home. We're going to get a chance to talk to NIC BATUM later and hopefully get a chance to see how it is. See how it's like being home for probably the first time in forever for them.
Yeah, these guys don't even remember this city, it seems like. I think some of them got lost coming to shoot around today. See how it goes. So.
Well, really quick, we have a couple of games to recap. First, Monday's game against the Knicks. It was a great game for us. Pulled out a win. It was a huge win. We didn't have any high scorers, but, that's probably a good thing, too, when you see that all-around participation from everyone on the team. What did you think about that game?
Well, yeah, we said when you look at that Knicks roster, you don't really know where it's going to come from on any given night. From their starters down to their bench, any guy can pretty much go off for double-digit scoring. The team did really well playing a complete overall game. First 3 quarters played well enough to keep the Knicks in the game, which I didn't like to see. I would have liked us to jump on them a little bit harder. But in the 4th quarter, the Hornets exploded, led by who? Kemba Walker, Malik Monk. Malik Monk has been playing tremendous in the last 5 games, hitting double-figure scoring, and he hit 4 threes in the 4th quarter. 3 of those on assists by Kemba Walker, 1 from Marvin Williams. These guys are sharing the basketball, playing good basketball there. That's what we need to do tonight, is play good team basketball like that again.
And hopefully we can kind of start out hot and kind of keep that lead going through all 4 quarters. But speaking of that 4th quarter surge, what do you think it was that really propelled Malik from behind the arc?
I think that getting those massive open looks, if Kemba is going to drive the lane the way he was and have 2 to 3 guys converge on him, I mean, this guy's an all-star starter. That's what we're going to see all season long. We've been seeing it all season long. For Kemba to have that faith and that vision to be able to find a wide-open Malik Monk the way he was. I mean, 3 of those 4 fours, I don't think there was a hand in Malik's face. So those are the shots Malik needs to knock down. And we all know that if Malik knocks down the first one, he wants to keep shooting and shooting and shooting. I really think he could have had 5. There was one play he was standing over in the corner, jumping up and down like a madman, just wanting the ball when he was so hot. But he didn't need to hit at that point in time. So if we can continue that, that's what we'd like to see. Malik Monk can get hot and score in bunches. We know that.
Well, kudos to Malik Monk for getting those threes. But really, I want to kind of give credit to that defense right there. What do you think it was about that defense that made it so easy for Malik to take those shots?
I think the fact that our defense turns to offense. And in transition, that's what enables Kemba to kind of get those shots set up. And you're right. In the 4th quarter, this team finally did buckle down and realize, wait, Coach Borrego has been preaching to us. We need to have a defensive mindset. We better start playing defense tonight. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day tomorrow. And that team really did buckle down in the 4th quarter to hold the Knicks. And that's what they needed to do. They needed to get aggressive, need to show that this is our court, this is our house. We're not going to let you take this game from us the way we let them take the game last time we played the Knicks.
Absolutely. And then, after that, we had to go to chilly Boston.
Yeah.
It was not the best game. It's hard to really take a look at that game and say, you know what, there were some silver linings, but we're the HornetsFanshop.com pregame show. We got to find some silver linings.
Well, I blame it on the winter vortex. I think somehow when we were flying to Boston, we got caught in the vortex and it lost our second half shooting is what happened, because we played well in the first half, stayed with the Celtics on their home court, always a tough place to play against one of the best teams in the East, and then in the 3rd quarter just went completely and utterly cold. And while we went cold, Boston just heated up tremendously. They scored 35 points in the third quarter, which is what we scored in the entire second half. At one point in time, we started the third quarter 3 out of 15 to start the quarter. You're not going to win a game on the road if you're shooting 3 of 15 coming out of the locker rooms after the break.
And now, even looking into that game, we knew Kyrie Irving was not going to be playing. But still, they're a winning team without Kyrie. Yeah. Who else really stepped up that game? I
mean, they're able to get things done because they have so many weapons. And one guy I like to watch in that game was Gordon Hayward. He's a guy who's been kind of progressing consistently as the season has begun. He hasn't been as the all-star level he was before the injury. This year is kind of a wash for him as he's trying to get back to being 100%. He's got to get his flow back and his rhythm back. You could see without Kyrie out on the floor, they were running more plays through him. He was running the offense a little more. I think that Gordon Hayward's going to be just fine.
Yeah, well, we'll be right back after this.
Either we win it or there's overtime. Lamb's going to have to fire. Got it! Kemba bounces into a 3. Enough legs to get it through.
Buzz City. It started 30 years ago. You're the best fans then, the best fans now. Let's have a great year.
That is right. The Hive is alive. Matt, you know what? I love our fans. You know what? I'm not even just saying that just because, like, I genuinely love our fans. You know what I really love about our season ticket holders is that we actually have a genuine relationship with a handful of these people. And what I really look forward to every night is seeing how excited everyone is to come into the arena, regardless of who we're playing. You always see these season ticket holders always there, always loyal, and always excited to see this team on the court.
Yeah, and the thing I love about them is because, as you said, we've got these relationships with them because most of these fans have been here through some really, really bad times with our organization, with the Charlotte Bobcats. Early on, some of those rough times, these fans have stuck with us. They've waited for things to happen. They were there when we drafted Kemba Walker. They've seen him grow. They've seen the team get better, make the playoffs for the first time. I think we're all ready for this team to make a playoff appearance and hopefully win a playoff series and see how far we can get and see if we can shock the world a little bit. The fans are definitely ready for that. They want it. They're passionate. They're totally into the game, and I swear to God, they think that Aaron and I can make changes. We're just letting you guys know there's nothing we can do about
PSA,
personnel, all
we
that.
have no control over free agency or any trades or whatsoever. So if you get on Hornets.com, you get on any of the social media channels, thank you. You completely put me on my soapbox right now. We have zero control over this. So as much as you want to tweet to us, hey, Hornets, make this trade. Hey, Hornets, do this. Hey, Hornets, do that. You're talking to me. And I can't do anything about it. So just wanted to put that out there. Appreciate you guys.
She's got a direct line to Mitch Kupchak. She just doesn't want to tell you
That's
guys.
not true.
It's Aaron's decisions. But no, we love them. And I love talking basketball with them, to be honest with you. I love going up the stands. There's certain people I see, even on my way to my seat, that I've gotten to know over the course of these many years that we've been here, and just stopping to talk to them. I love how knowledgeable they are about the game. And they want us to make changes only because they're passionate. And I don't ever want them to lose that passion. So keep asking us what we can do, even though we can't do much.
The answer is nothing.
But keep asking us. We're okay with it. We'll figure out what we can do.
We'll figure it out. Well, I'm looking forward to talking to a couple of these people tonight and tomorrow night. We have 2 back-to-back home games tonight. I always look forward to these types of games put together, these sets put together. Home game tonight, home game tomorrow. Tonight we take on the Memphis Grizzlies. It's going to be a good game. I already know it. I could feel it. We got a win against them last Wednesday. It was a huge win for us, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys can put together on the court tonight.
Yeah, and it does get to be exciting when you have back-to-back games, especially if your team is playing well, especially if you come out and you win that first one, which makes tonight so much more important. Obviously, if you were to lose, you're going to be hopefully hungrier tomorrow night. But let's get on a little run here. I mean, when you look at the schedule and the way it kind of shakes out in these 7 games left before the All-Star break, these are all winnable contests for the Charlotte Hornets. These are opponents we go in and say, hey, we think we've got a real shot in this game. That last game out in Boston, that's a tough game to win on the road in Boston. But when you look at this, even though there's 3 games at home, you got to set the tone, and then you've got 4 games following that are going to be on the road, but they're winnable games on the road, and this team has been playing better on the road as of late.
Right, and so we'll have a chance to talk about the Bulls game tomorrow during the pregame show, but I want to talk directly about tonight with Memphis.
Yep.
We had 4 guys that finished with 17 points last time we played the Grizzlies. What is it about our team that makes us so competitive against them?
I don't know. I think the thing that I liked about this is that every guy wanted to step up last game against the Grizzlies. It wasn't a situation where Kemba just needed the ball and we just kind of let him take control. When we're a balanced basketball team, we talk to all the players, the coaches, they'll tell you one of the strengths of this team is our bench. And when you're the 3rd highest scoring bench in the NBA, it better be, so they need to be performing. Our bench, when we went through a little bit of a lull where we were losing some games, was probably the lowest the bench had played and the worst the bench had played all season. The bench has elevated their game again and is bringing that, and they're going to need to bring it because I'll tell you what, on Memphis, they got 2 guys over there that are playing their tails off right now, and Mike Conley and Marc Gasol. Those guys know Memphis has come out and said they're on the trading block. They know that they might be. They're proving that they can get things done. I mean, Conley had over 25 points against us last time. Gasol, triple-double against us last time. These guys are trying to make a statement. They're not trying to lose games, folks. Don't get us wrong. They've lost their last 2 games by a combined 3 points. So watch out for this Grizzlies basketball team. They're going to come in hungry, trying to stop the Hornets.
Hungry as Grizzly Bears.
Hungry Grizzlies team.
I had to throw that little pun in there. Well, in case you guys missed it yesterday, we had a press conference here to talk about All-Star. We had the Charlotte government, CRVA, the Charlotte Hornets, and a handful of people from CMPD and everyone around the city that all has a hand in the 2019 NBA All-Star Game. Let's take a look.
Mayor, I'm ready for the All-Star Game. How about you?
I was born ready. How about that?
The mayor's ready for NBA All-Star Weekend, and so are we. CLT!
The men and women of CMPD are ready to make this NBA All-Star a safe and fun event.
And on February 15th through the 17th, it's going down here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And all the members of the Charlotte Fire Department are ready for this epic event.
NASCAR may be my number 1, but like everyone else in Charlotte this February, I'm All-Star ready.
Hey Charlotte, I'm All-Star ready. Are you?
We are All-Star ready!
We are now joined by NIC BATUM. NIC, it's the first time that we've had a chance to sit down with you during this show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you've had your fair share of coaching changes throughout your career, and so this is really the first time we're getting a chance to talk to you. How has it been working under Coach Borrego?
Been good. I mean, we're doing good as a team, for sure. And we talked a lot over the summer, like, by my new role with this team, how can it be good for my team and a teammate for myself, and by moving to the 3 spots. No thing I've been done for like a couple of years now. I think it was good for the team, moving Lambo in the lineup. Really, Kemba has been great for us, and I think got less pressure, like something to create. My job is really to play defense and recreate space and opportunity for Kemba and Jalem.
Now you mentioned Lamb going into the starting lineup, MKG going to the bench. Talk about this bench play for a second. This team's doing really well, both in the first unit and the second unit. How important is it to have both of these units, per se, really be able to step up and kind of fill in each other's gaps?
I think that's what we've been missing maybe the last 2 years, the depth of the bench. And this year, we got TP, Malik, Miles, MK, Billy or Biz when off the bench, all those guys, Frank when he's playing. So we got a lot of guys who can be good for us. Now, they saved us a couple of times, like the New York game, for example. They really won the game for us. So no, they're huge for us.
You know, we were talking with Coach on the Coaches Show this week, and he was telling us that defensively you've been getting things done all season long. He's absolutely thrilled with how you've been playing defense. When you talk about that and you hear Coach say this team has to have a defensive mindset, how much more pressure does that put on you as one of the defensive stoppers on this team?
I knew it was going to be my role this year, be my new job this year, so I accepted it for sure. And you know, it's not easy when you play in the NBA, especially at my position, because almost every night you can have a crazy guy to guard, a big scorer, a big superstar, so you got to and a job to do every night. It takes a lot of energy, but I like it. That's a good challenge.
But you're also shooting one of the best that you've ever shot from beyond the arc, up around 40% right now. Coach also said now it's at the point he started talking to you and they're trying to find more ways to get you more shots, especially from outside.
You know, this year, like compared to my first 3 years, like I don't take the same type of shot. You know, and I got more spot-up shots and more open shots because I got another ball like guy we can create as JLM on the court with Kemba. So I got easier shot I used to.
How much better has that been for you? Do you enjoy shooting up the threes?
Yeah. You know, Coach wants that. You know, we've been preaching that like all year long, like shooting threes and ability to shoot threes. So I really work on that like all summer and this year too.
Well, fans love seeing that too, just as much as you probably love shooting them. Now, I want to talk real quick about Tony Parker, your guy. Not only is he your teammate, he's your friend, he's also your business partner, if you will. What is it like working alongside someone like that and having that amount of relationship, I guess, between the two of you?
We have a great relationship. No, we're good friends. No, we like brothers, and I always call him my big brother, and he called me his little brother. So, no, I mean, it's been great to finally play together, like in the same team. No, we play for the national team every summer. We're in the NBA together. Now, we've been talking about it for years. I didn't think we'd be with the Charlotte Hornets, though. I thought we'd be with the Spurs. I have no idea he's going to leave the San Antonio Spurs. But he's here right now, so that's good for the team. That's good for me as well. But now it's good to have him around me because we have so much in common, like so much business together. No, family are like very close too. Wife are very close. We got kids at the same age, so that's cool.
Now, being on the same national team, were you expecting that kind of veteran leadership when he came to Charlotte?
Yes.
Were you a lot of your teammates? They said, you know, having him on the bench and kind of knowing that role and taking that role off the bench has really been really helpful for them.
You know, when he came in town back in June, and to see me, we kind of talk about it a little bit. I was like, "Are you sure?" I mean, I mean, I can ask them, but you sure? So I remember, like, I came back in the gym and I said, JB, like, I think you got a shot at Tony Parker. You look at me, it's like, yeah, right. No, I'm serious. I think you got a shot at Tony.
So he had that conversation with you before he even mentioned it to JB.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, 17 years with the San Antonio Spurs. I knew he wanted to stay there. He told me, like, I'm going to talk with the Spurs first because you want to stay. If you can't find anything, I mean, the next team was the Hornets.
Now, you mentioned that you've always been kind of his little brother. When you look at this team now, there's a bunch of young guys on this team, Malik, Miles, Devontae. They all say Tony's their big brother. What's going on here, man? Is he the grandpa at this point?
I get it. No, that's why, I mean, we're not seeing next to each other in the locker room. Not because, no, I got enough of him. He's been like over me my whole life for 10 years. Every summer I have him, so nothing's sitting next to Malik in the locker room.
Right.
So, nah. I don't want him next to me.
Yeah, but Aaron also mentioned the fact that you guys own a team together over in France. Number one, how are things going over there, and what's it like for you to be able to watch games as a GM and then have to go play games as a Hornet?
It's cool. It's great. No, Tony started this, I think, in 2013, 2014. I joined him 2 years ago. I mean, he'd been asking me to join him. I was like, give me some time. Man. I'm still young. I'm still playing, so not yet. And then 2 years ago, I joined him, and that's cool because we had a men's professional team. We bought a woman team 2 years ago, and we're building an academy, a new school as well in France for the youth and young kids as well. So we got a lot of projects together. But no, both teams doing well. They're both number one team in each league. Number one team in the women's league, number one team in the men's league. They play in Euro Cup as well, doing great. So the project is great so far.
Has that changed your, I guess, your game, really, in essence? Like, when you're playing a game and you look around, like, are you thinking more from a GM perspective every now and then?
Not when I'm playing, no, but sometimes when we get a big lead and we see on the bench in the fourth quarter, and they brought some guys sometimes they don't used to play. they must. Sometimes those guys might move to Europe next year because they might not get a contract next year. It will like. His name on the side, you never know.
He'll never know.
We do it a couple of times.
That's great. So now looking ahead, looking into tonight, playing the Memphis Grizzlies. We had a chance to play them last Wednesday. Huge lead against them, big win. You had 17 points. How do we need to keep this up tonight?
You know, now they're still a good team. Now they got great players. Now we had a good game over there, but since then now they had 2 tough losses. No, they lost by 1 twice.
Yep.
I think they get a chance to win both games every time. So, and he got a couple players back again. Anderson is back tonight. Noah is back tonight. They didn't play the first game against us, so it'll be a different game. But we need to play great defense the way we played. And both units played great that game, like you said earlier. Now the bench did a good job, and the first unit did a good job as well. It's going to do the same thing and have a good defensive game.
How important is it to set the tone in this game tonight, knowing that you have 3 important home games heading up into the All-Star break and heading on the road?
It's huge because we've been on the road a lot this month of January. It is not easy sometimes when you come back home after like so many road games. So tonight, to start the game tonight is going to be huge for us.
What about that crowd energy that they bring here? Where right now, obviously, that we're using the Hive as a live tag. Do you guys notice the crowd getting behind you in these games?
Yes, we need them because this year now after these difficult months in January, we stayed in the top 8 in the East. And that was our goal for us because we knew it was going to be brutal in January. We still top 8, so we got a chance maybe after this weekend to be 7th seed to win the next 2. So we need them. We need them behind us because we need everyone to be in the top 8 in April.
Well, Nick, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome back to Charlotte. I know it's probably nice to stay here for a couple of days.
Hopefully he gets a chance to sut late fourth quarter tonight. Let's do that.
We like that. We like that. Fourth quarter, we'll be looking down at you guys to see if you guys are talking back and forth. All right, everyone, 7 o'clock tip tonight. If you can't be here at Spectrum Center, make sure to tune in on Fox Sports Southeast or listen on WFNZ. For Nick Batum, Matt Rodchinsky, I'm Erin Pitzenberger. We'll see you tomorrow.
As a man, Bobby was just an incredible human being. I don't know anyone other than Jesus Christ that didn't have an enemy. And Bobby was loved and adored by so many people.
Anybody that's been around the NBA knows that players frequently have their buddies and even maybe players that don't like them. Bobby Fields was one of those 100%ers. I cannot think of an enemy.
This guy was as genuine a player as you could find, and as genuine a person as you could find.
Well, I think that Bobby Fields was one of our really outstanding citizens in the town. He's the one guy that the organization could go to for anything when it came to helping the needy, giving out food. He was always there for us.
Bobby was one of the world's most goofiest dads. He would hide that part, but a lot of people didn't know that he wanted to be a doctor and not an NBA player. And so to see him achieve his dreams and aspirations and just put in the work ethics to become a professional athlete, I emulated him. He made me a better person.
Steve out.
He's a solid player. He's a player you want. There's not a team in the NBA that would not have wanted him in the roster. Just a guy that made you better.
He always had a fire about him. He had a respect for his teammates.
His style of play, everybody knew he played hard, hustled, scrappy, got the loose balls, and competed at a very high level.
He would be on the second team, and he would be yelling at the first team like, "Hey, we're beating you. You know, you guys are supposed to be the starters." And he had this competitive juice about him.
He was one of our leaders. Bobby was defensively, he was an anchor. He was the guy that went out there and we put on the best players on each team.
Moment rest and back in. Here's Morning. Shot rejected by Bobby Fields. A rubber wall block.
Yeah, I never enjoyed playing against Bobby Fields. And he would post me up because I was too small. You know, and he would just torture me on the box. But great guy, enjoyed playing against him. just a tremendous man.
I remember one game, we were down by like 1 point and didn't have a lot of time, but he hadn't played, but he came in, and I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna give you the ball, and if you get it, you gotta score, man, okay?
6 seconds, 5 seconds. Phil throws up a wild shot. God! He hit it! He hit the deck, and he was fouled! Oh my goodness!
We kind of came into the league the same. We both played in the CBA. We both played, worked our way to get into this league. We both signed our deals the same year with Charlotte. And there was a closeness there that, it just happens. Sometimes you just find a vibe with somebody. And so playing with him was fun, and we had great chemistry on the court, but I thought, some of the best times we had were just playing one-on-one, scratching and clawing, no fouls called, and trying to beat each other up and then walk off and go grab some lunch.
Bobby, in many ways, created his own legacy. I mean, you could see that just from the impact he had on his teammates and the coaching staff and the organization, the city, but also his own family. You could see that through Kendall, through his kids.
It was neat to see his children go to school here and thrive on the athletic field and in the classroom as he did. I think that was an important step, and I think a lot of people, it brings a smile on people's faces to see that happen.
Today, I still get the stories. I still get the stories that kind of touch my heart, and I even tear up like, well, yep, that was Bobby. It doesn't surprise me.
And somebody told me this, well, not Phil's, but I was at a store here before Halloween, and a kid asked his mom if she'd buy him this Halloween costume. The mom said, I can't afford it. Phil's quietly picked it up and handed it. Didn't want to embarrass the mom in front of the kid. Handed it to mom and said, I got it. And I think that's the kind of guy Phil's was.
He just had a way of making people all feel part of it. Didn't matter what your job was. He was all about the team. He was all about making Charlotte Hornets a championship team.
Bobby Fields' legacy. Bobby was a humble guy, a fierce competitor. He was a devoted husband. He was a wonderful son, brother, friend. He was a community leader. He was admired by so many people. And his legacy doesn't stop. His legacy will live on through his children. His legacy will continue through his grandchildren with the spirit of excellence. So it will live on.